Hi friends, welcome to a chair yoga session. We're going to need a blanket, and if you have something that could be like a bolster, anything that you can place between your feet that's lightweight to just kind of squeeze in on, that would be great to have today. And a blanket that can maybe slide on the floor, or if you're on carpet, a trash bag works really good to slide on the floor. And a blanket for Shavasana, for our final resting pose. So those are the only items you will need today, and if you don't have them, it's fine too. So welcome to class. Pull up a seat and let's get started. Take a moment to just rock from side to side on your sit bones, those bony points on the bottom of your backside. Close your eyes or just take your gaze down low. And rest as much as you can against the back of your chair. So finding support in the chair so that you can just completely let go and relax for just these opening moments of class. It's really important to find a moment to just set up and prepare ourselves to start to work with breath and movement for the class. So close the eyes and just begin to take a moment to notice if there's any sensations in the body that would like your awareness, that would like to let you know that they're uncomfortable or they're spacious. Take a moment to drop into some breath. So if you're familiar with breath work called Ujjayi, it's a breath that draws in through the nose. And the same exhale follows the same path out through the nose. Begin to deepen this breath and just draw your awareness to the sounds, to the sensations, and all that the breath has to offer. It begins to relax the body slightly. It begins to release tension in the face and the jaw, in the shoulders, and all the way down the spine, into the hips and into the legs. The breath is also a vessel in which we can begin to relax the mind, in which we can begin to clear out any distractions, and just become present in this moment, in this body, and in this seat. I always like to begin my classes with an intention. So draw the palms together at the heart center. Take a moment to just place something sacred on your heart. It can be a simple intention as much as just for peace. Once you have your intention set, just bow down to acknowledge and seal it for your practice. Open the eyes now, lift the gaze, and slide to the edge of your seat. Just not all the way to the edge, but where you're not quite against the back of the seat. We're just going to begin with some small movement, some breath work, and some arm movement. So sweep the arms up, take a big inhale, and exhale, sweep the palms away. Inhale, learning to link breath to movement. Exhale. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale. And in this rather simple movement, notice what's happening with the rib cage, with the core. Exhale. Keep drawing the core in. The belly button draws back towards the spine. Exhale. The palms flip so that they're reaching up towards the sky, and then you rotate the arm bones so that the palms reach down towards the earth. One more. Inhale and exhale. I want you to straighten the feet out, the legs out, so that the toes pull up and that you're flexing through the feet. And I want you to reach your palms out and flex through the wrists. And then I want you to curl the fingers in, reverse the flexion of the wrists, and point the toes. And then go ahead, roll everything back up in a flexion and reverse it back down. Roll it back up and back down. So even curling the toes. Inhale, flex everything. Exhale, curl the fingers, curl the toes, point the feet, extend through the wrists, and then release. And then coming back into this sweeping of the arms, I want you to take a twist over your left side. Hold on to your left leg with the right palm and just twist. It's not a deep twist, it's very gentle. And just take 2 or 3 breaths here. Learning to connect with the body, making sure everything is relaxed from the shoulders down. However, you're drawing in through the core and staying tall through the spine. And then release it back to center. Inhale, sweep it up. And we're going to take the twist to the other side. So learning to sit tall without drawing tension into the body, without drawing it into the shoulders or into the jaw. And bring it back to center. So we're going to do something called cherry picking. So I want you to sweep your left arm up towards the sky, and I want you to take your right arm and just create a little curve in it. It's almost like a basket for picking cherries. So I want you to reach up with this left palm, and then I want you to drop your cherries deep into the basket. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, drop it in the basket. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, drop it in. 2 more times, reach up, exhale, inhale 1 more time, exhale down towards the floor and sit up nice and tall. Take 3 shoulder rolls to the back of your chair. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So reach the right arm up nice and tall. Create your basket with your left arm. Reach up, you can even follow with the gaze, and exhale, drop in the basket. Reach up, exhale, drop it in the basket. Reach, reach. Last one, reach really tall. Exhale through the basket and relax the palms back to the knees, and then draw shoulder circles in the opposite direction 3 times. I want you to just shake it out. Shake your wrists out, shake your arms out, shake your shoulders out. And then I want you to sweep your arms back up towards the sky, palms up. I want you to take your thumb and touch your pointer finger, open wide, touch your middle finger, wide, ring finger, wide, and pinky, and wide, and make a fist as tight as you can. You can even bring your face into it, and release it, wiggle it out. And then we're going to do the same thing, different direction. Thumb to pinky, open wide. Thumb to ring finger, open wide. Thumb to middle finger, open wide. Thumb to pointer, open wide. Tight fist, tight face. And release it, wiggle it out. Great for circulation in our fingers. Great for circulation in our face. And now we're going to come into a little bit more movement. So as you come back a little deeper into your seat to find a little support underneath your thighs here, I want you to lift your left leg, extend it out nice and long, pull the toes back and flex them, and reach your right arm up nice and long. So this is spinal balance. And just bringing awareness to how much strength you have in your leg, versus do you need a little more support? You can come a little deeper on your chair and noticing where your shoulder arrives in this movement. And then we'll switch to the other side. Right leg pulls up, toes flex, keeping that core engaged. Reach the left arm up towards the sky. Maybe one side's different from the other. Maybe there's less mobility in the shoulder on one side. Just awareness is all we're bringing to the body at the moment, and now we're going to bring breath and movement. So inhale, sweep the opposite up. Exhale through center and inhale, rise back up. Exhale through center, inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's go for 2 more on each side. Just really be aware of your breath. Full breath in on extension. Exhale through and inhale on full extension. Exhale, bring it back to a seat. And from here, we're going to take a couple cat-cows. So place the palms on the thighs. So cat-cows is just some flexion and that we're bringing into the spine and into the shoulder blades, into the chest. So we're going to take a cat. We're going to push the palms into the thighs, push them away from your body and round through the spine. Let the shoulder blades separate. Let the chin drop towards the chest. Should feel really yummy. And then we're going to reverse that. We're going to bring our shoulder blades together. We're going to pull our chest through and really be proud. Feels like we're separating our collarbones. We're just slightly lifting the gaze. We're not going to crank all the way up and drop into the back of our neck. And then we're going to reverse it back into cat. And then back into cow. So you might notice that your breath feels really good to empty as you come into cat. And it feels really good to take a deep breath in as you open your chest. So just rotate through this as many times as it feels nice to you. And if you feel like you need to stay in one pose for a moment longer than another, feel free to stay there for a couple breaths. And then bring it back to a nice tall seat. So from here, we're going to take a forward fold. And so we have a couple options here because we're all in a different place. If you have some blocks, some books, anything, cans of vegetables laying around, we're going to take our first forward fold and we're going to explore how this feels on our backs and in our own body. So some of us may just come right here and just cross our arms across our legs and just relax our head slightly and just let the forward fold come as it best serves you. So maybe this is your forward fold. Take a couple breaths here. Forward folds are really good for just going inward, for relaxing the body, relaxing the mind. It may be that you have stayed here for a couple breaths and you feel like you can go a little deeper. So maybe you can come down and use your blocks to just kind of anchor into the earth and hold yourself here and explore this fold. And it might feel available for you to relax and let the palms drop towards the earth, towards the feet. And then the final option is to wrap your arms around the bottom, the back side of your thighs. And if you can make that connection, that bind, I want you to just hug your thighs a little bit and you'll feel a little bit of space created in the back of the body. Make sure you're still breathing, and then on the next inhale, release everything. Make your way back up very slowly, kind of all the way along the same path that we took to get into that forward fold. From here, we're going to come into a a lunge. So we're going to turn sideways on our chair. We're just going to lift that right leg and reach it over towards the side and rotate through the other leg. So if you still have a block and you feel it's necessary to support yourself on that block, you can always use that there. Actually, you should use it on the low end. So drop it down. So you can always use that there. If you're not quite ready to drop that deep, you can use the chair to just help you support your body and come into a low lunge. So the back ball of the foot is anchoring into the earth. You're lifting through that back heel. And then I want you to try to just lift off the chair a little bit and see how much you can put into that right leg. And then let's try it again. Lift off the chair a little bit and come back down and lift off the chair a little bit and release back down. I want you to pivot to the other side. Using again the chair as a support system. You never have to leave the chair unless you just really want to start to see where your strength is. So if you can lift and drop back down, push into that lead leg, lift the booty off the chair slightly and back down. And one more time, just beginning to engage in the quadriceps, in the glutes, and come back to the center. Go ahead and take your seat, and then I want to take a little bit of hip circles. So we're going to get into the hip flexors and the hips, obviously. Some of us may need to grab onto the back of our thigh. Some of us may be okay. Actually, let's start by grabbing the back of the thigh and draw the thigh up towards the chest. See where it arrives and see what happens with your back. Do you start to drop back? And if you do, lower the leg a little bit until you find a place where you can lift the leg off the earth and hold on to that authenticity in the spine and in the core. And then drop it back down. Let's try the other leg. So we're getting a nice stretch through the back of the hamstring and into the glute. And we're firing up some of the core muscles. So back into the left leg, and I want you to just rotate into some nice circles here. So if you need the help of your palm, absolutely use it. Let's go for 5, and then go in the other direction. And when we're doing this, I want you to have awareness in the other leg. Make sure it's not just hanging out. Make sure that it is anchored into the earth and that whole core is engaged, and release it. Come back to the other leg. Draw the right knee up towards the chest. Find where it works. Find your setup. Maybe you've got freedom to let go. Take 5 hip circles in one direction. And then 5 in the other. And bring a lot of awareness into this hip joint, into this ball and socket, so that we're not moving the pelvis. We're actually making the movement come from that joint, and bring it back down. So from here, I want you to lift your left heel off the earth. And I want you to take both palms and I want you to press into that left thigh. And then release the heel back down to the earth. Inhale, lift it up, press a little bit of weight. So you're getting some nice flexion in the foot and you're getting a nice stretch in the top of the ankle. You're also strengthening that whole ankle stability in that area. And you're getting a nice stretch in the Achilles, and let's do the other side. Lift the right heel off the floor. Press some weight into the ball of the foot, into the thigh. It's going to work its way down into the ball of the foot and release. Inhale, press. Exhale, release. And one more time. Inhale, press. Exhale, release. So from here, let's come into a little bit of core work. So this is where the blanket and that block is going to come into play if you have it. And like I said, if you're on carpet, a trash bag glides pretty well on carpet. So this is going to be a variation to boat pose that we do on the mat. So you're actually going to find yourself on the edge of your seat. You're going to place whatever you have between your ankles and your feet on that moving item. And then I just want you to stretch your legs out nice and long. And then exhale, draw them back towards the chair. Inhale, stretch them nice and long. Exhale, draw them back towards the chair. If you need to lean back a little bit, that's fine too. I just want you to keep engaging in this middle area. Inhale, exhale, draw it in. Inhale, so you should be firing up these abdominal muscles. You should be firing up some of your hip flexors. This extension and return is really beginning to draw a little bit of warmth and fire into these areas. So we're going to go for 10. We've got 7. Move with breath. Inhale on the extension, exhale when you bring it back. And last one. Good job. So remove everything from the side. Take your right knee and extend it over to the side of the chair, keeping that left leg anchored. So we're kind of standing in a little L shape here. And then I want you to take your arms out nice and wide. And then I want you to come in and I want you to give yourself a big hug. And I want you to turn towards your right leg and come back to center. And I want you to turn away and back to center. Open it up nice and wide. Exhale. Let's switch it up. Okay, from here we're going to do a little side body work, a little strengthening of the serratus, these side muscles. So we're going to step out with the right foot, open up. You're going to have kind of an L shape here. And then I want you to anchor this left palm, the right palm behind the right hip. And I want you to reach your left arm over and open it up. And reach it over, exhale, open it up. Exhale, reach it over. Inhale, up. 2 more. Exhale, reach over. Sweep it up. Last time, reach it over and sweep it up. Reach up towards the sky and then just lean over to the right. You should have a nice long pull through that side body, through that left side, all the way down into the hip, and bring it back up. Bring that right foot back. Step the left leg out, make that lovely little L shape. Anchor that left palm behind the left hip, sit up nice and tall. Open the arm out to the side. Exhale, reach it over. Inhale, open it up. So there's a little action going on in the chest as well. Exhale, reach it over, open up. Exhale, reach it over, across and up. 2 more, sweep it over. Open it up. You're also working on this side body, strengthening the lateral side of the body. Reach that right arm up and lean over to the left. Find that connection, that awakening that comes all the way up through the hip. And then come back up, nice tall seat. Bring both feet back together. We're gonna come into a little bit of hip exercise, a little bit of hip opening. My figure 4 is one of my favorite poses, which is also called pigeon. And it's not available to everyone to bring that ankle all the way up to the knee. So one of the options here is anchoring through the left foot, extend it out a little bit. First option is just to kind of cross your ankles or cross your calves, stacking your calves on top of one another. You should still feel that sensation in your right hip. You can use the back of the chair to just kind of help you stay anchored. When we do that, make sure we don't squeeze our shoulders up towards our ears. So the second option is to work that foot on its way up towards the top of the leg. So if you're open enough and you don't have any pain in that hip, you can place this right ankle on top of the left thigh. And so begin to slow the breath down a little bit. Come back to that opening thoughts where we began to just connect with breath. Notice how it feels in the body. Notice how it sounds. So we're going to release that leg. We're going to extend out again, choosing what your variation of pigeon is. It might be just a crossing at the lower extremities. Or you might be able to begin to work your way up to a little bit higher position. Just bringing a lot of compassion and awareness to what's happening in your hip. Is it comfortable? Is it warm and tingling and a good feeling? Or if it's painful, just bring it right back down to the lower variation. You still have an external rotation. You're still opening and stretching that hip, even if it's low. A couple more breaths here. And then release the pose. So we're going to come back to where we started with our opening yoga postures. Before we close out, I just want to take one more moment to just get a little bit into the neck before we close out. Drop that left ear over to the left shoulder. And then rotate all the way down the chin to the chest. Take an inhale, rise up, drop the right ear over to the right shoulder. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, lift the gaze, sweep the arms up. One more big sweep. Bring them down through heart center. Back to the intention that you set at the beginning of class. And then just closing the class, sealing it right back to where we started. You can take a blanket or a scarf or anything that you have for final resting pose in chair. And you can just drape it over your shoulders. It's a really nice way to end class. To take it over your shoulders, move back into the support of your chair. And take a moment, flip the palms up towards the sky. Close the eyes or take the gaze down for just these final moments of class. Take this opportunity to tune in to the sounds that are in the room, to maybe the birds singing outside. Notice the space that you've created in your body. And the clarity that you have brought to your mind, and the connection that you have made with Spirit. Take a moment to receive all these gifts from your practice and carry them with you for the rest of the day. So you can stay in Shavasana for as long as it suits you. I'm just going to take a moment to close my class by just saying that it's an honor to practice with you, to share the gifts of yoga. They can be done anywhere by anyone and everyone. Like me honors the light in all of you. Use that light to shine on. Namaste.